Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. Things already rolling.
Well, Peter, there's goalkeepers, and there are great goalkeepers, and then there's Oliver Kahn. He's in a league of his own.
While he is a goalkeeping icon, isn't he? The man famously known as King Khan by some. He's belligerent, he's brazen, but he's utterly brilliant.
And never in a mood to accept failure. There's that body language he's always talking about. No wonder he instills both respect and fear in opponents.
Getting up there! That needed to be better, and he knows it.
Look, the defending wasn't too clever on that last chance. The cross had to be denied.
That has not gone well. Looking to play him in. Baresi cuts out the pass. Now it's Villa. Odo. More and more pressure on the ball here. And Donatoni. That is good pressure, just hounded him off it. And this is Gerrard.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Gerrard. And here's Gattuso. Zanetti did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. And it's made its way to him. Mbappe charging forward, the ball at his feet. Mbappe couldn't quite force his way through this time, but boy, he had a go at it.
Well, he's not the type that's short on self-belief, so that could rub off on his teammates now.
It's a good foot in there. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Neither side yet able to force a breakthrough here. Shevchenko has it in a wide position. Plays in a chance! Quality ball.
He has saved the goalkeeper's blushes there. What great defending.
Goes down, but nothing given. Yamal. Gerrard. And it's Gattuso. Fermin. Well, I'm not sure how the stats look in terms of expected goals, but nothing actual has materialised so far. He has found a way through. Dembele crosses it in. Maldini getting this one clear. Van der Vaart. Donatoni. And here's Yamal. Yamal unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. That's a promising position. And we've reached half-time. Well, it was a half of could-haves and should-haves, but as the whistle blows, we remain where we started. Plenty for both managers to mull over here. Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Well, I wouldn't say it was the most potent performance, Peter, but defensively, very composed. The scoreline might still be 0-0, but I'm expecting things to open up a bit more in this second half.
So at the halfway stage, we still have deadlock, the score 0-0.
Substitution on the field, number 19, Yamal. Coming on to replace him is number 18, Ronaldinho.
To get things going again.
Milan have been the team that have had the lion's share of possession and chances. Okay, they haven't got much to show for it, but I think it's a case of keep going and eventually you'll get your break.
Now it's Mbappe. Knocks it into space. Great challenge, time to perfection. Shevchenko. He's in a great position here. Akanji gets across and deals with it. Looking for a runner. Akanji makes the interception. Now it's Mbappe. Well, there was an element of promise insofar as they kept the ball well, but they did very little with it. Vermeer. So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on the shape here, and he wants them to press as high as they can and get in the right position to do that collectively.
Oh, it's Dembele. Nicely spread. No way through. Very few chances to talk of, Jim. Defence is, it seems, on top here.
Well, I think both teams can help themselves massively with better movement up front, Peter. There's just not enough happening at the moment. And essentially, their job is to find space, and that needs to start happening.
Substitution on the field, number 16, Fermin. Coming on the field is number
Excellent
20.
challenge there, uncompromising.
Substitution.
Now it's Ronaldinho.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
That's a sharp pass. Fiore. Now it's Del Piero. He's got away. Del Piero drives it in. And the keeper gets his hands on it. And it's Dembele. Nice looking ball. Oh, that's clever. That's the keeper's ball. Odo. McAllister. And that is a little undercooked.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
And he was quick to react. Passes coming off in quick succession here. Now it's Ronaldinho. Challenged just a bit on the firm side. Referee has just said play on. That is a great pick out. Look at the space here. And the shot! He lifts the roof! Mass euphoria! Ecstasy! The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
Substitution on the field, number 6, Donadoni.
Chonburi are making a change now.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Milan look like they've... That's that, the end. Milan have held on. They have doggedly, sometimes frantically, preserved the tightest of leads. Bale, voted man of the match, and deservedly so.
And we come to you now with a quick
So a game of thrills and tiny margins, so many what-ifs and what-might-have-beens, but eventually we have a winner.